Imagine living a life untouched by the chaos around you, a life resistant to fortune's unpredictability and strong enough to endure life's inevitable hardships. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you the secret to such a life has been around for thousands of years, waiting quietly for you to discover it? Welcome to this special guide to Stoicism, a philosophy that offers peace, clarity and strength in a world full of noise and distraction. In our fast-paced modern lives, we're often swept away by emotions, desires and external pressure. Stoicism offers a way back, toward inner stillness and unshakable self-control. At its heart, Stoicism teaches the art of letting go, learning to recognize what you can control and releasing what you can't. When combined with minimalism, which clears our physical and mental spaces, this path makes room for what truly matters. The first step is creating that space. The next is building self-discipline, shaping your values, mastering your impulses, and living not by society's changing trends, but by timeless principles that bring lasting happiness. Once focused, we face life head-on. That's where mental toughness comes in. We'll explore 10 powerful Stoic lessons that strengthen your mind, helping you remain steady when life gets stormy. Stoicism isn't about blind optimism. It's about building resilience through reason. You'll also learn how to free your mind from self-imposed limitations. By understanding how to direct your thoughts and actions, you'll unlock a sense of peace that no external force can take from you. This isn't just theory. It's a practical journey into the art of living, with virtue, clarity, and inner strength. So take a deep breath. You're about to gain confidence, perspective, and freedom as we dive into the modern-day wisdom of Stoicism. Imagine waking up in a calm, uncluttered space where everything you own has a purpose, your heart feels light, and your mind is clear. You understand that the only things you truly control are your thoughts and actions. With this mindset, you can face life's storms with resilience and purpose. Reaching that kind of clarity may seem out of reach, but it's not. In fact, the path to a meaningful life lies at the intersection of minimalism and Stoicism, two philosophies born centuries apart, yet deeply aligned. Welcome to Minimalism and Stoicism, letting go for a meaningful life. In this video, we're beginning a journey, not just to live life, but to love the way we live it. Let's start with the growing minimalist movement. Minimalism isn't just an aesthetic, it's a way of thinking. It's about letting go of clutter, both physical and mental, and choosing only what adds value to your life. What started as an art movement in the mid-20th century, focusing on realism and simplicity, gradually expanded into architecture, music, and lifestyle. Today, more and more people are embracing minimalism to reclaim their time, space, and focus. They're learning that removing excess helps deepen relationships, nurture passions, and discover fulfillment that material things can't offer. Now let's step back in time to ancient Athens, around the 3rd century BC. Stoicism also champions simplicity, but focuses on simplifying within. It teaches us to live with reason, ethics, and discipline. At its core, it's about understanding what's within your control and peacefully accepting what's not. Great thinkers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus remind us, happiness doesn't come from what happens around us, but from how we respond to it. What unites minimalism and Stoicism is the power of letting go. Minimalism clears the physical and digital noise. Stoicism clears the emotional and mental weight. Both philosophies promise the same result: freedom through simplicity, freedom to focus on what really matters and live with intention. In this video, we'll explore both minimalism and Stoicism in depth, their origins, their core principles, and the real impact they've had on people's lives. We'll share practical tips, examples, and inspiring stories to help you apply them to your daily routine. By the end, we'll reflect on the lessons we've learned and invite you to take what resonates and begin building a life that feels rich in meaning and light in burden. So take a moment to pause. Clear your mind. You're about to rethink what it truly means to live well. To live meaningfully, you must plan with purpose, act with virtue, and let go of what no longer serves you. Let's walk this path together. Now, let's dive into the first chapter. What is minimalism? The rise of minimalism as a lifestyle can be traced back to the early 2000s, when people began to question the consumer-driven culture dominating society. As life became increasingly cluttered with possessions, distractions, and endless choices, many started seeking something deeper, a life rooted in clarity and meaning. This is where the modern minimalist movement began, not as a trend, but as a response. A quiet rebellion against excess, and a search for happiness beyond material wealth. Let's now explore the core principles that define minimalism. First, minimalism is about simplifying. It's the intentional removal of what's unnecessary, the clutter, the distractions, and the obligations that weigh us down. This could mean decluttering your home, streamlining your calendar, or even limiting social media. It's about creating space, physical, mental, and emotional, for what truly matters. The second core principle is mindfulness. Minimalism isn't about blindly throwing things away. It's about choosing what stays based on your values. Ask yourself, does this add value to my life? Does this align with who I want to become? Intentional living means making conscious decisions that reflect the life you want, not the one society tries to sell you. Third, minimalism values quality over quantity. In a culture that equates more with better, minimalism flips the script. Less isn't the goal, better is. Instead of accumulating endless items, we invest in things that last. Durable objects, meaningful relationships, enriching experiences. Now, let's look at the powerful benefits of embracing a minimalist lifestyle. One of the most immediate rewards is mental clarity. When we remove the noise, physical and digital, we free our minds to think clearly, to be creative, and to make better choices. Fewer distractions mean more focus and peace. Another key benefit is financial freedom. By cutting out unnecessary purchases and choosing quality over excess, we reduce wasteful spending. This often leads to savings, less debt, and more freedom to spend on what really matters, whether that's travel, education, or simply more time with loved ones. There's also an environmental benefit. When we consume less, we reduce our ecological footprint. Manufacturing and waste are two of the biggest contributors to environmental harm. Living with intention not only helps us, it helps the planet. That said, like any philosophy, minimalism has faced criticism and misunderstanding. One common critique is that the choice to live with less is a privilege, a luxury not everyone can afford. Others argue that minimalism can become yet another kind of consumerism, where people buy new minimalist products to replace the old ones, rather than truly simplifying. Some also believe that minimalism demands extreme austerity, or that it's a one-size-fits-all solution. But here's the truth. Minimalism is not a rule book, it's a framework. It's a flexible tool meant to help you create a life aligned with your values and needs. While these critiques are worth exploring, they don't negate the value of the philosophy. Minimalism isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It encourages self-awareness, thoughtful choices, and steady steps toward a more intentional life. Minimalism, then, is not about owning less for the sake of it. It's about living with clarity and intention. While some critics point out that choosing to simplify is a privilege, Minimalism isn't about deprivation. At its core, it's about making the most of what you have and discovering contentment through simplicity, regardless of how much or how little you own. Minimalism doesn't demand a strict number of items or a bare, empty home. It's about removing what doesn't serve you and keeping only what aligns with your values. For one person, that may mean living with only the bare essentials. For another, it may involve holding on to a carefully curated set of belongings that bring joy and purpose. There's no right way, only your way. This philosophy is not just about cleaning out closets. It's about creating a life built on meaning, purpose, and authenticity. When we simplify, prioritize quality over quantity, and make intentional decisions, we free ourselves mentally, financially, and emotionally. We gain the ability to focus, to live sustainably, and to spend more time on what matters most. But like all meaningful paths, minimalism can be misunderstood. It's not a destination, it's a journey. One that invites self-reflection rather than perfection. With an open mind, minimalism becomes a flexible tool to help anyone create a more fulfilling life, adaptable to individual circumstances, cultures, and goals. As we now turn to the ancient roots of Stoicism, we begin to see how these two philosophies, though born centuries apart, are closely connected by the art of letting go and living wisely. Stoicism emerged over 2,000 years ago in the vibrant city of Athens during the early 3rd century BC. Founded by Zeno of Citium, the philosophy took its name from the Stoa Poikile, or painted porch, where he taught. As time passed, Stoicism traveled to Rome and flourished, shaping some of the most influential minds in history. Seneca, a Roman writer and statesman, explored how Stoic principles could guide daily life. Epictetus, once enslaved, taught that freedom lies in mastering the mind, not the world. His works, the Discourses and Enchiridion, are practical blueprints for inner peace. And then there's Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, whose meditations, written amid military campaigns, reflect a man seeking truth, virtue, and meaning in chaos. The first foundational idea in Stoicism is the power of reason. To the Stoics, reason is what sets us apart. It's the compass that guides us toward wisdom and inner harmony. By using logic and critical thinking, we make decisions that align with both moral goodness and the natural order of life. Second is the concept of control. Stoics drew a firm line between what we can change, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, and what we cannot, like other people's behavior or the events of the world. Peace, they believed, comes from focusing on the former and releasing the latter. This distinction is not weakness, it's strength in its purest form. Finally, Stoicism holds virtue as the highest goal. For a Stoic, a good life isn't measured by wealth or success, but by the strength of one's character. Virtue includes wisdom, courage, justice, and self-restraint, qualities that guide a person to live with purpose no matter the circumstances. So, how does this ancient philosophy help us tackle modern problems? Stoicism teaches us to step back from chaos, to see situations clearly through the lens of reason. When life throws challenges our way, we're urged not to react emotionally, but to respond thoughtfully, in line with our values. Obstacles aren't setbacks, they're opportunities for growth. Despite its ancient origins, Stoicism feels remarkably modern. In today's fast-paced, unstable world, its timeless principles offer stability. Its influence can even be seen in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, a widely used mental health treatment focused on managing reactions and reframing thoughts, core tenets borrowed directly from Stoicism. Beyond therapy, leaders in business now draw on Stoic ideas to cultivate resilience, clarity, and ethical leadership. Personal development circles embrace its focus on mindfulness, purpose, and strength of character. Practices like journaling, self-awareness, and daily reflection are helping people live more deliberate and honest lives. Stoicism, rooted in reason, self-control, and virtue, offers not just inner calm, but a framework for integrity and happiness in a world full of distractions. Its lessons from Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius continue to echo in the way we pursue strength, purpose, and peace. But Stoicism isn't just theory. It's a call to live wisely, to understand what we can and cannot control, to act with virtue, and to treat every hardship as a chance to grow. And now we arrive at a meaningful intersection where minimalism and Stoicism meet. Born in different times and places, these two philosophies both center on one radical idea: letting go. Letting go of clutter, of ego, of fear, of what no longer serves us, so we can create a life grounded in meaning, aligned with what truly matters. In the next sections, we'll explore how these two paths can work together or stand apart, and how, when blended, they offer a blueprint for a more intentional life. We'll look at how Stoic wisdom and virtue can enhance the purpose and simplicity found in minimalism. This journey invites us to break from old patterns, to ask hard questions, and to rethink what we value. It's not just about shedding belongings or enduring hardship, it's about choosing the essential and embracing the quiet strength that comes with clarity. We are all called to consider the choices we make, the lives we live, and the ideals we uphold, to let go of the trivial and hold fast to the timeless, to silence the noise and choose wisdom, to abandon the temporary and invest in what lasts. Let us walk together on the path shaped by minimalism and Stoicism, toward a life not just lived, but loved, not merely endured, but honored, not just brief, but deeply meaningful. These two philosophies, born centuries apart, now stand side by side on our journey of discovery. While they come from different roots, one from modern simplicity, the other from ancient reason, they both offer clarity, focus, and purpose. First, let's look at what unites them. Both encourage simplicity and intention. Minimalism helps us remove the excess from our surroundings. Stoicism teaches us to do the same within our minds. One clears the clutter from our homes, the other from our thoughts. In both, we are urged to focus on what truly matters. Second, both philosophies emphasize letting go. For minimalists, it's about shedding unnecessary possessions. For Stoics, it's about releasing harmful desires, attachments, and emotions that cloud our judgment. Too much, whether it's physical or emotional, can weigh us down. Both offer freedom through subtraction. Third, they point us inward to find true happiness. Minimalism reminds us that joy doesn't come from owning more, but from living with meaning. Stoicism teaches that happiness is found by aligning with nature and reason, not from praise or wealth, but from inner virtue. Yet, despite these overlaps, the differences between them are just as important. Minimalism is a modern response to consumerism, rising in the West as a reaction to overload and distraction. Stoicism, by contrast, emerged in ancient Greece and Rome, shaped by philosophers searching for peace and virtue in a chaotic world. Minimalism tends to focus on the external, our possessions, choices, and environments. Stoicism goes deeper, exploring our inner world, our values, thoughts, and emotional discipline. Even their motivations differ. Minimalists often seek clarity, freedom, and focus in daily life. Stoics, however, are driven by a moral duty to live with wisdom and virtue, to align their actions with a greater natural order. Still, together they form a powerful balance. Minimalism grounds us in the world around us, helping us focus and simplify. Stoicism strengthens our character, guiding how we think, feel, and respond. One shapes the way we live outwardly, the other, how we grow inwardly. Think of minimalism as the vehicle that moves us forward with less noise and more space. Stoicism is the compass that keeps us true to our course, our values, our nature, our better selves. Instead of choosing one, we can embrace both. Let minimalism create the space. Let Stoicism fill it with meaning. So take a moment, reflect. Ask yourself not just what you own, but what owns you. Not just what you hold on to, but what truly matters. This is your invitation to simplify, to grow, and to live deliberately, with wisdom, courage, and intention. Take a moment to think about the places where you live and the things you keep around you. Are they truly useful or just extra clutter? Now, look inside yourself. Reflect on your words, feelings, and actions. Are they aligned with your values or scattered and inconsistent? As we move forward, let's carry with us the core calls of these philosophies. Stoicism's call to knowledge and reason, and minimalism's call to simplicity and focus. Like careful builders, let's design a life that meets our deepest needs for meaning and happiness. Though minimalism and Stoicism come from different times and places and have different goals, they share the same aim: to help us live a life that's simple and centered on what truly matters. Minimalism guides us to clear the outside world, while Stoicism teaches us to govern the inside. Together, they reveal a path not just to simplicity or knowledge, but to a life rich with meaning. Standing at the intersection of these two philosophies, we hold the tools and the power to shape a unique journey, one focused on purpose, clarity, and joy. This path won't always be easy. Sometimes courage is needed to let go, but every step we take weaves together simplicity, wisdom, purpose, and happiness into a strong fabric. Let's take the flames of Stoicism and minimalism with us as we enter the world of practical action with open hearts and minds. In the next section, we will explore how to bring these ancient philosophies into daily life, blending their lessons to create a life that is simple, wise, and deeply meaningful. Thank you for joining this journey so far. The merging of minimalism and Stoicism into everyday practice is a crucial step from theory to living. So, let's get started. First, clean your space. Look at what you own and ask, does this serve a purpose or bring me joy? If not, consider letting it go. Take your time. Start with one room or even one box. Second, be mindful of what you consume. Before you buy or bring something new in, ask yourself if it aligns with your values and truly adds value to your life. You can also apply this way of thinking to other areas of your life, like partnerships and responsibilities. Last but not least, focus on quality over quantity. Spend your time, money, and care on the things and people that truly make your life better. This doesn't always mean spending money. Sometimes it means giving your time and attention. Now, let's explore how to use Stoic philosophy to make better choices and handle life's challenges. First, understand the duality of control. Know what you can control and what you can't. Events outside your control are beyond your reach, but you always have the power to choose how you respond. When faced with a problem, ask yourself, what can I control here? Then focus your energy on those things. Second, align your choices with your values. Stoicism teaches that being good, honest, trustworthy, and caring is the highest good. Let your values guide your actions. Lastly, practice self-awareness regularly. Take time to reflect on your actions, decisions, and emotions. This habit helps you develop greater logic and emotional strength. They work best together. Use minimalism to shape your surroundings in support of your values and goals, and use Stoicism to train your mind to be strong, focused, and virtuous. Remember, Stoicism and minimalism aren't rigid rules. They're flexible approaches you can adapt to fit your needs and goals. Be steady, take small steps, and be ready to adjust as you learn and grow. Joshua Fields. Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus, known as the minimalists, left jobs cluttered with stuff but lacking meaning. By focusing on what they could control and following Stoic principles through minimalism, they aligned their lives with their values. Tim Ferriss, author and entrepreneur, openly credits Stoicism with transforming his decision-making. He pairs this with minimalism, focusing on the most important people and things in his life. Combining Stoicism and minimalism is a powerful way to grow and live a meaningful life. Simplify your external world through minimalism and strengthen your mind with Stoicism, creating a life free of clutter but full of meaning and happiness. As we reach the end of this section, take a moment to reflect. What resonates most with you from Stoicism and minimalism? How can these philosophies support your growth and happiness? Let's continue this path together, embracing the wisdom and practical benefits these philosophies offer. Before moving forward, let's be honest. The journey of combining minimalism and Stoicism is rewarding but not always easy. It requires commitment, effort, and sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone. Remember, blending these philosophies is not a final destination, but a lifelong path of growth and change. Our understanding and practice will evolve as we do. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, and we will never be perfectly minimalist or stoic. They are companions on our ongoing journey to becoming our best selves. Change, especially those that affect how we live and think, takes time. We will trip and fall sometimes, and that's okay. The important thing is to get back up, learn from our mistakes, and move forward with more energy and focus. We are not alone on this journey. Many others have walked similar paths, combining minimalism and Stoicism in their search for a more meaningful life. We can learn from their errors and be inspired by their stories. It's comforting to know we are not the only ones seeking meaning and happiness. As we continue exploring, let's travel across time and countries to learn more about the complex philosophies and religions of the East. With thousands of years of history and thought, the East offers a lot to those wanting to live a meaningful life. It's interesting that Stoicism and minimalism share many connections with Eastern philosophies. Let's look at these beautiful similarities and see how they can enrich our lives. Buddhism teaches the middle way, a path of balance that avoids extremes, much like minimalism. According to the middle way, we can live a healthy life that fosters spiritual growth if we neither indulge in excess nor fall into harsh frugality. The Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path offer guidance on living free from attachments, which fits well with Stoic principles. The Four Noble Truths describe human suffering and its causes, while the Eightfold Path advises how to end suffering through right behavior, motivation, and awareness. Buddhism places great emphasis on mindfulness, focusing on the present moment through meditation. This practice aligns closely with Stoic awareness, helping us focus inwardly and release fleeting emotions. Meditation fosters calm and clarity, two valuable benefits for both philosophies. Turning to Taoism, simplicity, naturalness, and non-action are key principles, again echoing minimalism. Wu Wei, often translated as non-action, means acting in harmony with the natural flow of life, not passively doing nothing but moving without forced effort. Yin and Yang symbolize balance and unity in nature, ideas that resonate with the balance sought in Stoicism and minimalism. Taoism's emphasis on living in harmony with the Tao, the fundamental principle behind all existence, is very similar to the Stoic idea of living in accordance with nature to achieve virtue and happiness. Hinduism, another ancient Eastern tradition, speaks extensively about dharma, moral responsibility, and living a purposeful life. Following your dharma means living thoughtfully and simply, which aligns with the minimalist focus on intention and meaning. Non-attachment is also central in Hinduism, echoing Stoic detachment, encouraging us not to be bound by material things or fleeting emotions. Hindu practices like yoga and meditation are not just physical disciplines, but paths to self-knowledge and aligning with inner ideals, similar to Stoic self-reflection. Confucianism emphasizes balance and simplicity through its doctrine of the mean. Kindness, Ren, and proper behavior, Lai, are core values, reflecting Stoic virtues. Confucianism stresses moral character and social harmony, showing how important it is for Stoics to engage with their communities and recognize their role in a greater whole. In many ways, minimalism and Stoicism share much with Eastern religions and philosophies. Concepts like mindfulness, balance, and non-attachment are common threads. By integrating these Eastern and Western ideas, we can better focus on what truly matters for a happy life. Eastern thought is especially valuable because it highlights personal growth, social harmony, and interconnectedness, all crucial lessons for anyone seeking a happier, more meaningful existence. As we've seen, minimalism asks us to pare down our material possessions and put more emphasis on quality rather than quantity in our lives. Being logical, controlling our emotions, and seeing honor as the highest good is what Stoicism teaches us. Eastern philosophies, with their wide range of beliefs, can teach us much about living in balance with ourselves and nature. As you go about your daily life, think about how you could combine these philosophies. For example, you could follow the awareness techniques of Buddhism, the effortless action of Taoism's Wu Wei, the moral guidance of Hindu Dharma, or the social ideals of Confucianism. Put these together with the simplicity of minimalism and the rational mindset of Stoicism. Let's not think of these philosophies as separate, but rather as colors that blend well on a canvas we can use to paint our lives. Drawing ideas from both East and West can help people of all ages and cultures learn from each other. You can find many real-life examples of people who live simple, good, and balanced lives without much attention. They are happy and satisfied, not because they have a lot, but because they know what's truly important. It's not a goal to reach this unification, it's a process. Remember what Lao Tzu said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." This information can be that step for you. Take what the East and West have to offer and find your middle ground by simplifying, rationalizing, harmonizing, and finding your own way. It might not always be easy to follow this path. You may need to make compromises and tough decisions, but in the end, it offers something priceless, a life filled with meaning, happiness, and a strong connection to the world around us. Now that our journey through minimalism, Stoicism, and Eastern philosophies is coming to an end, let's take a moment to reflect on the rich tapestry of knowledge we've explored. We started by learning about the history of minimalism and its main principles, keeping things simple, being purposeful, and prioritizing quality over quantity. We discussed some of the challenges and misconceptions about living a frugal lifestyle, and also uncovered many benefits like mental clarity, financial freedom, and protecting the environment. We then journeyed back in time to explore the depths of Stoic philosophy from ancient Greece and Rome. We learned how Stoicism teaches the importance of logic, emotional control, and seeing virtue as the highest good. We saw how Stoicism helps people cope with problems and how it remains relevant today through the writings of philosophers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus. Next, we examined where minimalism and Stoicism intersect, discovering their shared values of simplicity, focus, and inner peace, alongside differences in historical context and goals. We explored how these philosophies help us live more meaningful lives by removing the unnecessary. We discussed practical ways to apply minimalism and Stoicism in everyday life, organizing both our physical spaces and minds, and using Stoic principles to guide decisions and respond to life's events. We also looked at real-life examples of people who have combined these philosophies to improve themselves. Our journey extended further as we crossed oceans to explore Eastern faiths and philosophies that align closely with minimalism and Stoicism. We found many shared beliefs: the middle way in Buddhism, Wu Wei in Taoism, Dharma in Hinduism, and the doctrine of the mean in Confucianism. Please don't let this be the end of your exploration. Let it be the beginning. Think about how you can incorporate the lessons from Stoicism and minimalism into your life. Experiment with different approaches to see what fits you best, and don't be afraid to adapt them as your needs change. Different people have varied ideas about living meaningful, happy lives. There is no single answer that works for everyone. You must keep learning, unlearning, and learning again. It's a lifelong process. Think of your mind as a garden where seeds of knowledge from various philosophies can be planted, and with care and nurturing, grow into a life that is fulfilling and aligned with your values and ideals. It's important to realize that the things we buy, the praise we receive, and the social standards we use to judge ourselves are all temporary. True happiness and satisfaction come from living a life based on simplicity, virtue, and purpose. These are what last. Finally, let's carry forward the knowledge passed down for thousands of years. Let's carry the torch and light the way for ourselves and each other. Explore the world and learn new things, but most of all, seek value. As you go forward, may your life be like a well-written book, where the depth of its writing matters more than its length. May the ideas of minimalism, Stoicism, and Eastern philosophies fill every page of your life with meaning, happiness, and satisfaction. As the great philosopher Seneca once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Let's keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep moving through life with virtue as our anchor and knowledge as our guide. Thank you for coming along on this journey. Your path should now be clearer, and your heart should lead you toward a meaningful and happy life. One remarkable figure who embodied these principles is Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and devoted follower of Stoicism. His life was a living example of self-discipline and strength. Today, we'll examine his philosophy in greater detail, see how he taught and exemplified self-discipline, and find practical ways to apply his lessons to our own lives. Stoicism began as a school of philosophy in ancient Greece and flourished during the Roman Empire. Thanks to Marcus Aurelius's writings and teachings, Stoicism became widely known. Early Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Zeno of Citium contributed significantly to what we now understand as Stoic philosophy. At its core, Stoicism emphasizes self-discipline, personal virtue, and inner strength. It provides a way to face life's challenges, manage emotions, and find peace amid external chaos. Stoics believe we have full control over our thoughts, actions, and emotions, but not over external events. Stoicism offers a profound understanding of humanity and our connection to the world. When faced with uncontrollable events, we should focus on what is within our control, practicing self-control, fairness, and virtue. The way of Stoicism leads to moral purity, personal growth, and resilience. One of the most intense tests of Stoicism's power occurred during the Antonine Plague in 165 AD, which devastated the Roman Empire. The plague destroyed lives, disrupted the social and economic order, and caused widespread fear and chaos. During this crisis, Emperor Marcus Aurelius demonstrated remarkable leadership by combining his unwavering determination with the deep lessons of Stoic philosophy. He endured the plague with the Stoic mindset, providing security, courage, and hope to his people. The Antonine Plague, likely caused by smallpox or measles, struck the empire with unprecedented force. It spread rapidly, shaking the foundations of Roman society. Faced with fear and uncertainty, Marcus Aurelius recognized the need for a guiding philosophy to lead his people through the turmoil. He turned inward for strength, relying on Stoicism's teachings. Marcus Aurelius embraced Stoicism's core practice, accepting life's difficulties while remaining virtuous even in adversity. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Seneca taught him that virtue alone is sufficient for happiness, and that true power comes from within, not from external circumstances. By confronting the harsh realities of the plague, Aurelius fortified his resolve and refused to be overcome by fear. Instead, he focused on his character and response, things he could control. Throughout this ordeal, Marcus Aurelius exemplified Stoic values. He showed unshakable courage and resilience, working tirelessly to care for his people despite risking his own health. His compassion and strength inspired those around him to find peace within themselves amidst chaos. He understood that the plague was a chance for self-improvement and a call to help others grow stronger. It reminded him and his people of life's fragility and the importance of living virtuously. He urged them to cherish every moment, place virtue above wealth, and cultivate gratitude even during hardship. Thanks to Marcus Aurelius's application of Stoic philosophy, the Roman Empire was strengthened and eventually recovered, despite the plague's devastation. His leadership brought comfort and hope during one of history's darkest times. Today, the lessons of Stoicism that Marcus Aurelius taught remain profoundly relevant. They remind us of the human spirit's strength and our ability to find inner peace even amid extreme adversity. The worst moment for the Roman Empire, the Antonine Plague, was met with courage, knowledge, and resilience thanks to Stoicism. His example shows us that even in the darkest storms, we can rise above our problems, hold on to hope, and persevere. Stoic teachings continue to offer wise advice for navigating life's complexities, focusing on resilience, self-discipline, and moral integrity. Stoicism teaches resilience, self-discipline, and other traits that help us manage daily challenges, navigate hard times, and find meaning in an increasingly complex world. By learning from famous Stoic philosophers, we can begin a journey towards self-discovery, inner peace, and happiness. Marcus Aurelius, a key Stoic figure and Roman emperor, embodied these principles. Stoicism, originating in ancient Greece and flourishing in Rome, emphasizes virtue, fortitude, self-mastery, and discipline. Aurelius used these lessons to face life's challenges with strength and wisdom. The philosophy encourages people to harness inner power and improve moral character through moderation and fairness. Stoicism teaches that while we can't control external events, we have full control over our thoughts, emotions, and actions. This self-control is the source of real strength. Marcus Aurelius famously said in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This mindset helped him face many crises during his reign, including civil unrest, wars, and economic instability. Despite setbacks, he remained steadfast, prioritizing the well-being of his people. His leadership was marked by resilience and dedication, viewing difficulties as opportunities for growth. Stoicism helped him maintain a clear sense of right and wrong, focusing on inner strength while accepting what he could not change. Aurelius's personal life reflected humility and awareness of the fleeting nature of power and material things. Daily reflection on values and purpose, physical exercise, mindfulness, gratitude, and strong social bonds were key practices he advocated for building self-discipline and character. Today, these timeless Stoic principles remain highly relevant, offering a framework for personal improvement and a meaningful life. They remind us that true power lies in mastering our own minds and living virtuously, no matter the external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius emphasized mindfulness and self-awareness as essential tools to control negative or false thoughts. By constantly questioning our thoughts and replacing harmful beliefs with positive, rational views, we can live more fulfilling lives aligned with reason and ethics. Writing in a diary helped Marcus reflect daily on his emotions and thoughts, enabling him to improve his mindset and reactions. He understood that while we cannot control external events, we can control our responses through acceptance, gratitude, and virtue. Practicing these helps build inner peace and resilience, which remain vital in today's world for managing stress and adversity. Stoicism stresses focusing only on what we can control, our actions, attitudes, and decisions, rather than wasting energy on uncontrollable external factors. Accepting change and uncertainty allows us to maintain peace of mind and adapt more flexibly. Marcus also highlighted the importance of setting clear, value-driven goals to guide our decisions and actions. Knowing our purpose helps us prioritize what truly matters, leading to dignity and personal growth. Self-control, according to Marcus, is central to self-discipline. It means mastering desires and emotions, resisting temptations, and making choices that foster long-term happiness and development. Self-control is not about denying joy, but about choosing what brings lasting fulfillment. Building resilience is another key Stoic virtue. Marcus taught that life's challenges and failures are opportunities to grow. Resilience means maintaining inner strength amid difficulties by accepting life's unpredictability and reacting with courage, patience, and determination. Building resilience means accepting life's difficulties as natural parts of our journey. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we strengthen our inner peace and remain calm despite external events. Resilience involves seeing setbacks as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles. Marcus Aurelius's meditations teach 3 vital lessons for self-discipline and fulfillment. The power of the present moment. Marcus advises not to burden ourselves with past regrets or future worries. Instead, focus on what is happening now and ask, what is truly unbearable in this moment? This focus breaks down overwhelming challenges into manageable steps, enabling self-discipline through mindful action. Separation from outward approval. He noted that people often value others' opinions more than their own. True self-discipline comes from inner virtue and following one's moral compass, not chasing fleeting fame or external validation. This inner focus builds self-respect and integrity. Adaptability and acceptance. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Obstacles are not just to be endured, but embraced as chances to learn and grow. Self-discipline involves adapting to challenges, using them to cultivate virtues like courage, patience, and determination. By applying these principles, living in the present, detaching from external approval, and embracing challenges, We cultivate self-discipline rooted in wisdom and virtue. This kind of discipline leads to a purposeful, meaningful life, regardless of circumstances. Marcus taught that self-mastery begins with controlling our thoughts and emotions, allowing us to maintain composure and clarity. Acceptance and resilience come from reframing setbacks as growth opportunities, fostering strength to face adversity with determination and inner peace. To build self-discipline in daily life, practical strategies include consistent routines, physical discipline, mindfulness, gratitude, and supportive communities. Through these, we develop the strength and fortitude to navigate life's storms with grace. Standing at the crossroads of history and philosophy, Marcus Aurelius's life reminds us that self-discipline is more than a trait. It is an art of living. It is the compass guiding us through life's challenges, the anchor in turbulent times, and the sail that propels us forward. In today's chaotic, distraction-filled world, self-discipline is more vital than ever. It helps us filter out noise, stay true to our values, and act with wisdom rather than impulse. Remarkably, Marcus Aurelius, an emperor from 2 millennia ago, faced many of the same inner struggles we do, showing that the human experience is timeless. In an age of endless opportunities and challenges, Stoic wisdom equips us with mental strength to transform difficulties into growth and self-realization. Each of us has the potential to be a philosopher and seeker of truth. Let Marcus Aurelius's words inspire us to build our reservoir of self-discipline. Remember, self-discipline is not an end, but a means to a life of purpose, integrity, and fulfillment. In life's grand theater, we are both playwright and protagonist. Through self-discipline, we can create epics of triumph and ballads of joy. Resilience within the chronicles of history calls us to author chapters woven with wisdom and purpose. Let the ink flowing from our quills be that of self-discipline, guided by Marcus Aurelius as our steadfast sentinel from the revered corridors of antiquity. Let us march ahead with our gazes fixed firmly on the horizon and our hearts ablaze with the boundless figure of possibility. Epictetus reminds us that it is not events that disturb people, but their judgments concerning them. Imagine a world where external events no longer dictate your happiness, where you have complete control over your emotions and find peace in the midst of chaos. Welcome to the world of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has guided countless individuals toward personal growth and fulfillment for centuries. At its heart lies the wisdom of Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher who transformed his life through the power of Stoic thought. Born around 50 AD in what is now Turkey, Epictetus rose above his circumstances to become one of the most influential Stoic philosophers of all time. Owned as a slave by a Roman official who recognized his intellectual potential, Epictetus was allowed to study philosophy. He became a student of Musonius Rufus, a prominent Stoic teacher in Rome. After gaining his freedom, Epictetus taught philosophy in Rome, but when Emperor Domitian expelled all philosophers, he fled to Nicopolis, Greece, where he founded a school attracting students from across the Roman Empire. His teachings were recorded by his student Arrian into the Discourses and the Enchiridion, the latter being a concise manual offering practical guidance for living a virtuous life. Stoic philosophy centers on the idea that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. By cultivating inner strength, wisdom, and resilience, we remain calm in the face of adversity. This is achieved by focusing on our thoughts and actions rather than external circumstances or opinions of others. One of the core principles Epictetus teaches is that we should focus our energy on what is within our control and accept what is not. Our thoughts, beliefs, and actions are within our control, while external events and the actions of others are not. Recognizing this can save us from unnecessary stress and disappointment. For example, if you miss a job interview due to a traffic jam, it's natural to feel frustrated, but you can control your reaction. Instead of dwelling on the missed opportunity, you can learn from it, adapt your approach, and continue your search with renewed determination. By accepting the unpredictability of the world and focusing on what we can influence, we empower ourselves to cultivate growth and adaptability. This mindset allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and composure. Another key lesson is embracing fate and accepting life's natural course. Stoicism teaches that the universe follows a rational order, and everything that happens is part of this cosmic plan. Accepting fate does not mean passively resigning, but learning to appreciate all experiences and adapting to circumstances we cannot change. For instance, if illness prevents you from taking a planned vacation, embracing fate allows you to focus on recovery or spend time on other meaningful activities instead of being overwhelmed by disappointment. Learning to accept fate and the natural order brings equanimity amid uncertainty. Approaching life with an open heart and adaptability helps us find meaning and joy regardless of outcomes. Epictetus also emphasizes pursuing virtue as the ultimate goal in life. Virtue refers to moral excellence and character development. He believed that cultivating wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance leads to true happiness. For example, if you find a wallet with cash and identification, pursuing virtue means returning it to the owner, practicing justice and integrity. Consistently choosing virtuous actions strengthens our moral compass, leading to satisfaction, self-respect, and positive contributions to society. Stoicism teaches detachment from material possessions and external circumstances, stressing that happiness should not depend on impermanent things. Instead, cultivating inner strength and contentment through one's own actions and thoughts fosters resilience. This doesn't mean abandoning relationships or possessions, but maintaining perspective and gratitude while recognizing their impermanence. For example, wealth and success are not the sources of lasting happiness. Our inner values are. Self-discipline and self-control are crucial for mental tranquility and personal growth. Mastering impulses and resisting short-term temptations enable us to live aligned with our deeper values and long-term goals. This mastery helps maintain focus and balance amid life's distractions. By embracing these teachings, we build inner strength and wisdom, navigating life's uncertainties with grace. Stoicism is not just abstract theory, but a practical guide for personal growth, resilience, and fulfillment. Practicing self-discipline frees us from impulsive reactions and helps us live by our core values, like choosing healthy habits over short-term temptations. This requires consistent effort, but leads to better decisions, goal achievement, and lasting satisfaction. Overcoming fear and anxiety involves challenging irrational beliefs and focusing on the present moment, which calms the mind and builds confidence. Treating others with kindness and empathy strengthens our connections by listening actively and showing genuine care, fostering compassion even when we disagree. Learning from criticism means objectively evaluating feedback without emotional attachment, using it for growth while maintaining self-worth. Building resilience comes from seeing setbacks as opportunities to grow and managing emotional reactions by separating events from our judgments. Regular self-reflection deepens our understanding of ourselves, helping us align actions with values and improve continuously. Together, these principles support personal freedom, emotional balance, and a fulfilling life rooted in wisdom and virtue. Challenging limiting beliefs begins by becoming aware of the mental obstacles holding us back and working to replace them with empowering thoughts that encourage personal growth and lasting change. The 10th lesson from Epictetus highlights the importance of self-reflection as a powerful tool for self-improvement. By regularly examining our thoughts and actions and striving to align them with our core values, we develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and cultivate a more authentic, fulfilling life. This practice of introspection is central to Stoic philosophy and invaluable for personal growth. Epictetus teaches us to differentiate between what we can control and what we cannot, helping us cultivate inner peace amid uncertainty. He urges us to embrace fate and accept life's events with grace, building resilience and serenity in adversity. Living a virtuous life characterized by kindness, wisdom, and self-discipline is achievable, and through detachment from material possessions and external circumstances, we find true contentment within. The lessons also remind us to practice self-control and empathy, overcome fear and anxiety through rational thinking, and transform irrational beliefs into balanced perspectives. In a world that values external validation, learning from criticism without losing our self-worth strengthens emotional resilience. The 9th lesson focuses on developing resilience through a growth mindset and emotional regulation, while continual self-reflection encourages us to align our actions with our values and pursue constant self-improvement. Stoicism isn't merely a philosophy to contemplate, but a way of life to embody, one that profoundly influences our outlook, relationships, and overall well-being. Epictetus, once a slave who rose to become a leading Stoic philosopher, leaves a legacy of timeless wisdom that still guides us in navigating life's complexities. His teachings remind us that it's not what happens to us, but how we react that matters most, serving as a compass toward wisdom, resilience, and virtue. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king and Roman emperor, despite immense power and personal struggles, reflected deeply in his meditations to improve himself and share insights on living virtuously. In today's fast-changing world, resilience and inner strength are crucial, and learning to face challenges with grace turns adversity into growth and self-discovery. Together, these Stoic lessons offer practical guidance to live with tranquility, purpose, and fulfillment, encouraging us to embrace continual growth and peace. Marcus Aurelius taught the importance of cultivating inner virtues and practicing self-mastery, believing that by focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we can overcome external circumstances and maintain balance and equanimity amid life's challenges. Stoicism, at its core, encourages us to be the architects of our own happiness and well-being, regardless of what happens around us. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius offers timeless wisdom through 10 key lessons that help develop resilience and inner strength. These lessons provide practical advice for handling difficult situations and inspire us to cultivate a mindset capable of growth and calm persistence in daily life. Among these teachings is the crucial skill of controlling our perceptions, recognizing that everything we hear or see is not an absolute fact, but a subjective perspective shaping our reality. This insight reminds us to be mindful of our thoughts and emotional responses, realizing they are not fixed truths, but interpretations we can influence. Developing self-awareness allows us to identify negative thought patterns and replace them with constructive, rational perspectives. Techniques such as daily mindfulness exercises help us focus on the present moment without judgment, observing thoughts and emotions without becoming reactive or overwhelmed. Cognitive restructuring involves actively challenging irrational beliefs and reframing them with balanced alternatives. For instance, viewing setbacks as learning opportunities rather than definitive failures. Surrounding ourselves with positive role models and uplifting influences further reinforces this healthier mindset. Another foundational lesson Marcus Aurelius teaches is the acceptance of things beyond our control, embracing fate with wholeheartedness and loving those whom fate brings into our lives. This acceptance is key to inner peace, enabling us to let go of resistance toward unpredictable events and focus our energy on managing our own responses. Together, these principles form a comprehensive roadmap for navigating life's difficulties with wisdom, resilience, and grace. They empower us to maintain composure and confidence when facing adversity, reminding us that true strength lies not in external circumstances, but in how we choose to perceive and respond to them. By internalizing these Stoic teachings, we can cultivate a life of tranquility, purpose, and enduring fulfillment. One of the key teachings of Marcus Aurelius is learning to find contentment despite life's inevitable ups and downs by letting go of our need for control. When we release ourselves from the burden of constant worry, anxiety, and frustration over things beyond our power, it becomes easier to face challenging situations with grace and wisdom. To adopt this mindset, start by honestly recognizing which aspects of your life are truly beyond your control. Try making a list of situations, events, or circumstances where your influence is limited or non-existent, and practice accepting these realities as they are, without resistance or judgment. This exercise sharpens your awareness of the difference between what you can change and what you cannot, helping you stop wasting energy on unproductive attempts to control the uncontrollable. Another valuable technique Marcus recommends is practicing non-attachment, the art of appreciating the impermanent nature of life. Understanding that everything around us is transient and constantly changing allows us to develop a more balanced perspective. This perspective teaches us to accept life's natural ebb and flow rather than clinging tightly to desires or expectations. When faced with a difficult situation, remind yourself, "This too shall pass." Approach the challenge with an open heart and a calm mind, knowing it is only a temporary phase. Meditation can also be an indispensable tool in cultivating acceptance. By dedicating a few moments each day to quiet your mind and observe your thoughts and emotions, you deepen your self-awareness. This mindfulness enables you to notice when you are struggling with acceptance and helps gently shift your attitude toward a more peaceful, accepting state. Embracing the mindset of accepting what we cannot change is essential to building resilience and inner strength. Through awareness, non-attachment, and meditation, we cultivate a balanced view of life that not only empowers us to face adversity with grace and wisdom, but also allows us to appreciate the beauty and richness of our existence. Marcus Aurelius captured this beautifully when he said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Moving on to another vital lesson, focusing on the present moment. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment." He emphasized that by living fully in the here and now, we can experience life more deeply and cultivate inner peace and contentment. When our attention drifts to past regrets or future anxieties, we lose touch with the only moment we truly have, the present. Focusing on the present brings many benefits. It reduces stress and anxiety, heightens self-awareness, and improves overall mental well-being. By practicing mindfulness, consciously observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we can immerse ourselves fully in our current experiences. This engagement opens doors to personal growth and self-discovery. One practical way to develop this habit is through mindfulness meditation. Find a quiet spot, Sit comfortably and focus on your breath. When distracting thoughts or emotions arise, acknowledge them without judgment and gently bring your attention back to your breathing. Even 5 minutes a day can profoundly impact your well-being. You can also bring mindfulness into everyday activities such as eating or walking. Savor each bite of food, paying close attention to flavors and textures, or observe the sights and sensations while walking, fully immersing yourself in these moments. Integrating such mindful practices into daily routines helps you appreciate life more deeply and stay attuned to your thoughts and emotions. Journaling can complement these practices by offering a space for reflection. Taking time each day to write about your experiences and emotions increases your awareness of the present moment and can reveal patterns in your thoughts and behaviors, helping you make more conscious choices moving forward. Next, Marcus Aurelius teaches us to cultivate humility and empathy. He reminds us, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself, what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? Humility means recognizing our own imperfections and understanding that we are all fallible. It invites us to listen more and speak less, to be open to feedback, and to accept responsibility for our mistakes. This openness helps us grow personally and develop resilience by adapting more effectively to life's challenges. Empathy, closely linked to humility, involves putting yourself in another's shoes and striving to understand their feelings and experiences. It deepens relationships, enabling us to navigate difficult situations with compassion. Practicing empathy can start with active listening, giving others your full attention without judgment and asking open-ended questions to encourage genuine sharing. Volunteering and acts of service also expand your empathetic capacity by exposing you to the struggles and emotions of others. Finally, Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the power of gratitude. He said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." By consciously focusing on what we are thankful for, we nurture a positive mindset that strengthens our mental health and resilience. Studies consistently show that gratitude leads to greater happiness, reduced stress, and stronger relationships. To practice gratitude, consider keeping a daily journal where you write down 3 things you appreciate, no matter how small. Expressing appreciation to friends, family, and colleagues reinforces your own gratitude and deepens those bonds. Reflecting on personal achievements and challenges further grounds you in a sense of progress and growth. Marcus Aurelius teaches that obstacles are not barriers, but pathways to growth. Challenges help build skills, resilience, and self-confidence. To embrace adversity, adopt a growth mindset. Believe your abilities improve with effort. Reframe negative thoughts into empowering ones, such as thinking, "This is tough, but I can learn from it." Seek inspiration from stories of others who overcame hardships and lean on a supportive network of friends, family, or counselors. Our happiness depends on the quality of our thoughts. Rational thinking helps us manage emotions, make clear decisions, and solve problems. Practice critical thinking by questioning assumptions and considering alternatives. Engage in self-reflection to recognize emotional biases and redirect thoughts. Use mindfulness and breathing exercises to regulate strong emotions. Challenge your mind with puzzles, debates, or strategy games to sharpen reasoning. Our thoughts shape our emotional state. Inner peace helps manage stress and maintain clarity. Engage in activities that bring joy and relaxation, such as spending time in nature, pursuing hobbies, or connecting with loved ones. Develop healthy coping mechanisms like deep breathing, yoga, or walking. Practice gratitude regularly to foster optimism and balance. Detach from external events and opinions. Focus on inner values and spiritual growth. Detachment maintains emotional stability and prevents anxiety from outcomes or others' judgments. Become mindful of your reactions and practice emotional equanimity. Observe your emotions and thoughts without becoming overly attached to them. This self-awareness helps you recognize when you're too focused on external things and reminds you to turn inward. Remember that life, possessions, relationships and circumstances are always changing, so lasting happiness can't come from them. Instead, focus on inner growth, your core values and spirituality to find true contentment. Reflect regularly on what matters most to you and practice meditation, journaling or prayer to deepen your inner connection and build resilience. Marcus Aurelius stresses the importance of perseverance and forward momentum. By appreciating what you have and maintaining a growth mindset, you can overcome challenges, learn from setbacks, and keep moving toward your goals. Set clear, achievable goals aligned with your values, break them into small steps, and celebrate progress. Practice self-compassion when facing difficulties and surround yourself with supportive people who share your goals. Reflect often on your achievements to stay motivated and resilient. These teachings offer timeless guidance for building inner strength by controlling your perceptions, accepting what you can't change, embracing the present, practicing gratitude, and staying focused on growth. Developing mindfulness through daily exercises and challenging negative thoughts with positive reframing can help maintain this mindset. Surround yourself with positive influences who inspire and encourage you. Following these principles can lead to greater peace, purpose, and lasting happiness. Controlling your perceptions is essential for building resilience and inner strength. By practicing self-awareness, mindfulness, cognitive restructuring, and surrounding yourself with positive influences, you train your mind to view challenges through a more balanced and constructive lens. This shift empowers you to overcome adversity with greater confidence and composure. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, our perceptions are not absolute truths, and we have the power to shape them to our advantage. Acceptance is a fundamental principle of Stoicism and key to resilience. Learn to accept the things beyond your control and focus your energy on what truly matters, your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Acceptance helps you make peace with the present moment, freeing you from anxiety and frustration. To practice this, identify situations you cannot change and remind yourself that everything is impermanent. This mindset helps you approach challenges with grace and wisdom. Meditation can deepen this acceptance by increasing your self-awareness and helping you observe your reactions without judgment. Focusing on the present moment allows you to experience life fully and develop inner peace. Instead of dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, concentrate your mind on the here and now. This practice reduces stress, increases self-awareness, and improves mental well-being. Mindfulness meditation, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, is a powerful tool to cultivate presence. Incorporating mindful activities like eating or walking into daily routines can also enhance your awareness of the present moment. Journaling regularly helps you reflect on your thoughts and behaviors, supporting conscious choices and personal growth. Humility and empathy are vital virtues for resilience and inner strength. Before criticizing others, ask yourself which of your own faults resemble the one you're about to judge. Humility means recognizing your own imperfections and remaining open to learning from others, which fosters personal growth and adaptability. To practice humility, listen more, speak less, and be willing to admit mistakes. Empathy involves understanding others' feelings and experiences, helping you build stronger relationships and navigate difficulties more effectively. Practicing active listening and striving to connect with others on a deeper level develops empathy, making you more resilient in the face of adversity. To build empathy, try to understand others' perspectives without judgment. Ask open-ended questions to encourage deeper sharing and show genuine interest in their feelings and experiences. Volunteering or acts of service can help you develop empathy by exposing you to others' challenges and emotions, fostering compassion. Humility and empathy are essential for resilience and inner strength. By practicing active listening, self-reflection, and compassionate actions, you develop a more empathetic and humble outlook. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to appreciate the privilege of being alive. Focusing on blessings helps foster positivity, well-being, and resilience. Gratitude is linked to increased happiness, better mental and physical health, stronger relationships, and lower stress. To practice gratitude, keep a journal listing 3 things you're grateful for daily, express appreciation to others, and reflect on your personal growth and lessons learned. Mindfulness helps you notice simple joys like sunshine or laughter, deepening your gratitude. Regular gratitude enhances overall well-being and resilience. Marcus Aurelius teaches that obstacles can become the way forward. Viewing adversity as an opportunity for growth transforms challenges into chances for self-improvement. Difficulties build skills, provide experience, and boost self-confidence. Adopt a growth mindset, believing abilities develop through effort. When facing challenges, ask what you can learn and how it can make you stronger. Reframe negative thoughts into positive ones, such as changing "I can't handle this" to "this is a chance to grow stronger." When facing challenges, try reframing negative thoughts into positive ones, like changing "I can't handle this" to "I can learn and grow from this." Seek inspiration from stories of people who overcame adversity by reading biographies or listening to podcasts. Surround yourself with supportive friends, family, or counselors, as a strong support network can help you see challenges as growth opportunities instead of barriers. Embracing adversity with a growth mindset, reframing thoughts, seeking inspiration, and leaning on support helps you grow stronger. Marcus Aurelius stresses that the quality of your thoughts shapes your happiness. Rational thinking helps you manage emotions, make clear decisions, and solve problems better. Practice critical thinking by questioning assumptions and considering alternative viewpoints. Self-reflect to recognize biases and emotional influences on your thoughts, and use emotional regulation techniques like mindfulness or deep breathing to stay calm. Engage in activities that sharpen your problem-solving skills, such as puzzles or debates, to strengthen your reasoning and face difficulties with clarity. Cultivating inner peace is vital for resilience and emotional balance. It helps reduce stress and anxiety, prevents burnout, and promotes well-being. When calm, you can think clearly and find better solutions. Activities like spending time in nature, hobbies, and connecting with loved ones support inner peace. Practice self-care and stress management through deep breathing, yoga, or walking. Regular gratitude fosters optimism and peace by focusing on life's positives. Marcus Aurelius encourages detachment from external events and opinions, focusing instead on inner values and spiritual growth. Detachment brings emotional stability and prevents stress from attachments to outcomes, possessions, or others' judgments. Cultivate detachment by observing your thoughts without clinging to them, reminding yourself that life's circumstances are temporary, and focusing on personal growth and core values. Spiritual practices like meditation or journaling deepen this connection to your inner self and help you maintain equanimity through life's ups and downs. Finally, keep moving forward by appreciating what you have instead of longing for what you don't. Perseverance helps you push through setbacks, learn, and grow stronger. By focusing on your blessings and maintaining momentum, you build resilience and the skills needed to overcome future challenges. To stay motivated and maintain a growth mindset when facing future challenges, start by setting clear, achievable goals that align with your values and passions. Having a clear vision helps you stay focused even during setbacks. Break goals into smaller steps and celebrate progress to keep motivation high. Practice self-compassion. Accept that setbacks are normal and treat yourself kindly during tough times to maintain a positive attitude. Surround yourself with supportive, like-minded people like friends, mentors, or groups who inspire and encourage you. Regularly reflect on your progress, recognizing your growth and skills gained, which fuels forward momentum. By combining goal setting, self-compassion, supportive relationships, and reflection, you can maintain perseverance and resilience despite life's challenges. These ideas sum up 10 powerful lessons from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations that teach us to control perceptions, accept what we can't change, focus on the present, develop humility and empathy, practice gratitude, embrace adversity as growth, be guided by reason, cultivate inner peace, practice detachment, and keep moving forward. Building resilience and inner strength is a lifelong journey that requires dedication and practice. Drawing on Marcus Aurelius's timeless wisdom can help you face life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and resilience, ultimately leading to greater inner peace, purpose, and lasting happiness. Remember, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts, so nurture those thoughts well.